Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party of Professor Maurice Kamto re-elects him as the party's president. This was during the annual elective General Assembly meeting of the said party that held over there in Yaoundé at the Yaoundé Congress Hall over the weekend, as other opposition party leaders endorses the candidature of Maurice Kamto for the 2025 presidential elections. And as Christmas countdown draws near, many across Cameroon gives the nostalgia of Christmas that is quite reminiscent of their yesteryears as children. Our newsroom crew brings to you the temperature in the town of Buea in southwest Cameroon. Those were our major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime for Monday, the 11th of December 2023. We start off with one of our lead stories. A massive crowd turned out for the elective General Assembly meeting of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party at the Yaoundé Congress Hall over the weekend, where Professor Maurice Kamto was overwhelmingly re-elected as the party's president to steer up the affairs of that party for the 2025 presidential elections. Detail with our reporter from Yaoundé, Adeline Ayemfo Akum.
The Yaoundé Congress Hall was full to capacity for its elective congress last weekend that saw the party's incumbent, Professor Maurice Kamto, being voted overwhelmingly with a landslide victory, as the entire hall hails such a victory. The Congress that saw the participation of some heavyweight opposition members like Honorable Jean-Michel Nicher, who endorses the CRM party's candidate Maurice Kamto, as they say they rally behind him come 2025 presidential election.
Le président avait été arrêté, puis détenu avec des dizaines de vos collaborateurs durant de longs mois pour les mêmes raisons. À ce jour, des centaines de militants du MSC sont toujours illégalement embastillés dans les multiples geôles du pays. Je pense au professeur Forêt, il vous dit ça, attendons-moi.
Calling on all to be ready for the 2025 general elections, Nietzsche says everyone in the country should accept the opposition coalition as it is the ideal way to get out of the current quagmire the country is facing.
Je voudrais exprimer ma profonde compassion pour ceux de vos camarades qui, détenus dans des conditions inhumaines, sont morts en prison. Nous devons faire en sorte que le sacrifice n'ait pas été vain. Monsieur le Président élu, votre troisième convention ordinaire se tient dans un contexte particulier. Un contexte de fin de règne où M. Biya aura officiellement 91 ans dans quelques mois. Un contexte où des décisions importantes impactant la vie de la nation sont prises le matin et rapportées l'après-midi.
At the dawn of this elective Congress of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, political pundits across the spectrum are anticipating of the next phase of the country's political evolution.
On ways to mitigate gender-based violence, natural disasters are quite another aspect that subjects women and girls to gender-based violence as a result of floods and other natural disaster occurrences that occur, exposing women and girls to rape and other vices perpetrated on them by men and boys in the society. In the paper that follows, Jabi Keti brings us the intricacies of how we should mitigate such.
Since November 25, 2023, the globe has been commemorating the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which continued up to December 10, 2023. This calls for global action to increase awareness, galvanize advocacy efforts, and share knowledge and innovation to end all types of violence against women and girls. In these efforts, it is important to reflect on some of the factors of gender-based violence, with climate change being one of the major contributing factors in recent time, especially in sub-Saharan Africa.
When there is a natural disaster related to climate change, women and girls also suffer from gender-based violence. During a natural disaster like flash floods, women are displaced. They are displaced and they are at high risks of different types of gender-based violence, such as rape, withholding of resources, and you know that lack of resources, provision of resources for women and girls during natural disasters, especially those related to climate change, is a form of GBV. Some of them even drop out of school because they lose all, for example, their school material, like the last flood that happened.
This informs us of a dire need to adopt necessary mitigation and adaptation strategies to protect women and girls.
Their capacities have to be strengthened. They need to raise awareness amongst women about these changes, what is causing these changes, and how they can understand the best planting seasons, for example. But for others who are probably living in along the areas where the floods are coming, they can move. It's good that they should move. There are waterways that have already been marked out, and they have actually been asked to relocate.
The issue of women and climate change has featured on conversations in COP28 ongoing in Dubai. It is hoped that these conversations should not end at a theoretical level, but witness actual implementation as a theme for this year's 16 Days Activism Goals: invest to prevent violence against women and girls.
The Center for Democracy and Human Rights in Africa, SHADA, with headquarters in Buea, commemorated the World Universal Declaration Human Rights Day over the weekend, where it was an occasion for the center's founder, Barrister Nkongo Agbo Felix, who exposed the vulnerability of the Northwest, Southwest, and Far North regions as a result of the armed conflict that are reigning in these three regions of the country. In the reports that follow, he highlights that 200 persons were killed during this 2023. More with our reporter Rita Mafani Muchoko on that story.
The 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights has been observed in Buea with a press conference on human rights situation in conflict-affected regions of Far North, Southwest region, Northwest region of Cameroon.
It's a normal process that we do. Every quarter we come up with a report, and we thought that as we're celebrating the 75th anniversary of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we decided to do it today because tomorrow is a Sunday. It's peculiar because it shows that the situation is not getting any better. We recorded lots of human rights violations, as was explained by Mr. Kajetan and Mr. Wabi. About 200 persons were tortured, about 300 have died. We had about 100 days of ghost town, about 50 killed in the Far North with Boko Haram, instances of arson of about 150 also. It shows that the civilian population is not being protected by the state and by the warring factors. When I mean the warring factors, the non-state armed groups in the Southwest and the Northwest, and equally also Boko Haram in the Far North.
With the current situation quite disturbing in these three regions, as 300 persons have died, 200 tortured, and more than 100 days of ghost towns and lockdowns, the human rights activist wants a holistic approach.
The need for kind of a holistic measures by both government and the non-state armed groups to find a solution where civilians are not targeted, because you know that in any country the role of the state is to protect the civilian population, and wherein the state fails to protect the civilian population, the state is held accountable, meaning that even in cases where It's a non-state arms group that commit the atrocities. The state is still held accountable for failing to protect the civilian population. It's very complex, but we hope that as we get into 2024, as we get into the 76th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the strides that we have made in building capacity with human rights defenders, with civil society organizations, with the press, with the religious leaders, it will trickle down.
With the respect of human rights that is tantamount, Chada believes in the advocacy method to bring a change in all ramifications. This year's theme says freedom, equality, and justice for all.
Handbook on the do's and don'ts in a war situation. What non-state armed groups are not supposed to do and what the military is not supposed to do. We have shared it to them. It's also on, and we hope that when they read some of these things and their leaders also read, they will imbibe a culture of respecting human rights and protecting civilians. We will get to a position where it will get better. It's not easy because we have a culture of impunity. Accountability is not the rule, it's the exception. But I think that as time goes, people are more human rights sensitive. People are mainstreaming human rights in whatever they're doing, and it will only get better. Advocacy grinds very slowly. That's what we've been doing for the past 7 years, advocacy. It grinds very slowly, but at times you see results. You see certain things that government does after refusing it 5 years ago. It's because of advocacy.
With all said and done, the culture of human rights in Cameroon and the world is something that involves everyone, with no one left behind, and all to act and respect the rights of all humans.
Many in Cameroon are giving the nostalgia feeling on the reminiscence of Christmas feelings when they were children. In this story done for us by Cynthia Lato, we took to the streets of Buea to see how businesses in this festive period, how they are faring, as Cynthia gives us the temperature of Christmas feelings in the town of Buea.
The countdown is real, the excitement too. The little ones have started visualizing the Christmas day.
We came here to buy some things that they use girls to which are super.
Here in Clerk's Quarters, Buea, this shop is fully equipped and ready to grace the commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ.
Yes, we took off about 2 weeks ago and it has been very, very interesting and very promising. Customers are coming from all over. I see faces I've never seen before. I guess some are coming from my there and so forth. It's a very exciting period for us. We're getting many more new toys and new designs of toys and very, very interesting activities that will make Christmas very, very exciting.
Siblings and family members gear towards a reunion, planning to surprise the younger ones with their dreamed gifts.
I'm here to get some toys for my younger sister and maybe some few other things. And I'm still looking, but the prices are really expensive. I don't know if I'll take any other thing. So far, very well. But I've not done much. Still have like a bit of time. I think it's the first thing I do. Enjoy it like at this place.
The prices of the toys and decorative accessories have changed considerably this year.
There's been a little hike in prices because of I think the world economic crisis, there's a bit of inflation, and people are not finding so easy that they are adapting. I know we are going through very difficult times, and there's been a bit of depression. The Christmas is coming to uplift people's spirit with the coming of Christ, and I hope it gets better and better.
As the town gradually beats to the rhythm of Christmas, inhabitants hope to meet up with the soaring prices and stock their houses with foodstuffs in preparation for December 25th.
You are watching High Prime and we are coming to you live from our main studio here in High Television. We talk education on this newscast where former students of the legendary SASE College known as St. Joseph's College SASE, the class of 1973, has remembered their alma mater as they went there to donate 15 equipped furnished beds to the sick bay of the school where school children who fall sick are being treated. In the paper that follows, our reporter gives us the intricacies that led these gentlemen for their 50th anniversary as a class, the class of 1973. Former college boys of the iconic St. Joseph's College SASE, the class of 1973, are once again on their former college campus. The sole aim of this visit is for the equipping of the school sick bay as they are donating 15 furnished beds to the school authorities.
In our college, that we met when we were in school because we saw what the batches who had been ahead in front of us did. They used to come back, especially during the St. Joseph's Feast Day, to give back to the college. So we developed the idea from there, and we know that it's normally very good, and from the homilies that we hear every day in church, that it's good to give back to God from the graces that you have received from Him. So we thought that our 50th anniversary was this year, 2023, and we had to do something to create also an impact for our
brief stopover that started with the student population at the school chapel before they descended to the sick bay to see things for themselves and hand over the 15 furnished beds to the school authority, something the hierarchy appreciates.
It is clearly a hospital, and even more than some clinics that you may find in town. So we are very happy with the gesture, and we are praying that they should get more and give more things to the school. Actually, Sobans have been doing a lot to the college and to the students. So we pray, we will keep on praying that they should continue, and the younger ones will be learning from them and will be doing the same when they will start earning something.
This kind of gesture is coming into place to add to the numerous of activities for the countdown of their Golden Jubilee celebration as a class.
With the staff and students, especially the prefects, and then after that we will also go to town and have a gala, but things have not turned out the way we expected. There is an African proverb which says that sometimes even the drum does not sound the way its owner intended. So that's exactly what happened. You can see that we are not many here out of...
As the class of 73 leaves the college campus of St. Joseph's College SASE, though they are leaving, they say they will be coming back for more donations for the promotion of excellence. We remain in education, where students of the International University of Bamenda have been graduated. This was during the convocation ceremony that saw local administrators in the Northwest region who all answered present, encouraging the outgoing students to be ambassadors of goodwill and excellence, as Sonny Tangonio would travel to Bamenda for this report. Tells us more.
Raise our voices in one accord on this great day.
As higher institution graduation ceremonies unfold in various institutions, the International University of Bamenda Womb branch is not left out, as the academic structure has graduated 4 badges at the HND, Bachelor's, Master's in Education and Business Management level. The coordinator of the university urged some outstanding students to be assiduous, obedient, and have a good sense of responsibility.
Most happiest days in my life, seeing that going through education, I've been able to come back and in my own little way share my know-how with others, and they are now up to the task and they can now boast the power of mention in terms of education.
To some graduates, this certificate acquired is going to be a stepping stone to their careers.
I'm so happy. I think I will help the general public by my ways of behavior, by encouraging others, especially the grand teachers who thought that what we were doing, that it was fake. So I'm out to tell them that what we're doing, that we're actually serious with what we're doing, that I will encourage them so that they join and do the HND to the degree and even master, why not doctors. Again, where I'm teaching my pupils, my children that I'm teaching, I think they will have an advantage of the knowledge that I have acquired.
The education being a very important factor for every Cameroonian, the coordinator equally echoed on the significance of knowledge, calling on all the sons and daughters of Mengchum to enroll into the university.
Who is more educated is less prone to crimes, and by so doing, I will encourage them to also spread what they have learned to their young ones. They should not learn, they should copy from my examples that I went somewhere, had education, came back, and I had to spray to them.
Graduation ceremony was graced with the presence of the administration of the university in Mengchum, traditional rulers, religious bodies and elites. The presentation of awards of diplomas crowned the day.
With that story from the Northwest region, this is where we'll put a cap on this edition of High Prime, that for Monday, the 11th of December 2023. Thanks immensely for the privilege of your company, and good night from our newsroom.